It was like over, and I was ready to be out. But because of so many failed marriages, you know, not necessarily relationships, because I've had great relationships. I've been involved with some great people who I'm still great friends with. It just ran its course. But because of this, I wanted to try to see if there was some, you know, we could do some counseling, you know, being that we were older, more mature, children are involved, things of this nature, friends are involved. And it just wasn't gonna work. It just wasn't gonna work. So at this point, I had to throw in the towel. For my sanity, for my health, for my well-being, because at some point, sometimes you have to realize you might be at risk for losing it all, and that includes your freedom. Okay. When things get to that point, you have to make some real life decisions, and I was at that point, and I had to make some real life decisions, and it was gonna be me or him, so I had to die out of grade school.
So, have you ever thought about why these marriages didn't last? Because you're saying 10 days in, you knew.
A month in. A month and 10, or a month and 3, I don't remember.
So it was at least a month.
Yes.
Like each of the marriages. So you didn't make it to a month. Have you ever tried to assess maybe perhaps what could have happened better on the front end? Because it seems like you didn't really know these gentlemen until you actually had to be around them for an extended period of time, or you finally saw not the representative, but you saw the actual person at that time?
It's the representative. Their representative is a motherfucker. Let me tell you. It is.
For girls and boys, by the way.
Yeah.
Girls and boys.
Yeah. You know, I would say this. Being in the industry that I'm in, it poses a problem in a lot of relationships. I'm in a male-dominated industry that involves a lot of late nights dealing with men. That's hard for another man to come into play. They all seem to say it's something they can handle early on. Oh yeah, I can handle that. You know, but when it actually goes into play, that's real, you know, that tends to be a hard pill for some men to swallow.
Do you mind sharing the industry that you are in?
I'm in the entertainment industry. So most of the people that I work with are, you know, the artists are men, the managers are men, the sound men are men, the lights are men, the venue managers are men, the street team are men. So in every aspect, the producers are men, the cameramen are men. So, you know, you get makeup artists, and hell, now they men. So in every aspect, you have a lot of men. So when I'm out doing a show and promoting, I have to go to where the people are. And I have to go when they're out. When are they out? At night. Where are they? At nightclubs, at restaurants. So where am I? And when does this happen? Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. So I'm out every weekend. Now I am not out partying, right? I'm not just hanging out. I'm out working, I'm doing my job. And this is how it is. And they know this. 30 years in the game, over 30 years now. But they all seem to say they can handle this. You know, but they can't. You know, and I'm not stopping. Now if I stop, it's gonna be under my terms. It won't be under somebody else's terms.
Real deal. So let's go to our married couple, the Loftons. So I know both of you guys and knew both of you guys individually before y'all became a couple. So you talked about some toxicity that existed before you guys got together. So elaborate on that a little bit. Because y'all are here now, so y'all obviously got over it. So let's talk about that. This is a safe space, non-judgmental space. So, you know, you got to keep it real.
I'm gonna keep it real. So when I married her, I had a girlfriend. You was around. You probably
I know.
You probably seen some stuff and didn't know what was going on. But
I mean, you know, I didn't live, so I knew what was going on. But it's all good. It's all good.
So, but yeah, I had a girlfriend or whatever, and then I had met her or whatever. You know, so it's crazy how we met though, cause like I had slid in her DMs, right? But when I slid in her DMs, and I was really telling her I had to break her up. But I had seen, like when she messaged me back, I seen like it was like 10 years before that. Like when Facebook first had just came out, I had already been in her DMs. That was crazy. So she saw it too, so she thought I had just sent it.
But I thought it was
recently.
recent. I didn't, because at that time, Facebook might have changed the way the messages looked. Instead of it being like beside it, it was like up, so I couldn't tell that it was old. I was like, oh, he tried something.
So after that, you know what I'm saying, we ended up getting real close. Like it wasn't like we was just traveling together, doing all types of stuff together, doing interviews, doing his shows, you know, all that little. She used to do little natural hair tours, all that. I used to help her or whatever, but so we got real close or whatever. Then you know, one thing led to another.
I'm thinking
And
about
like,
it.
I ain't gonna lie, I ain't tell her I had no girlfriend at
Yeah,
first. You know,
that
so
part.
I know you ready for it. I ain't telling, you know, but then I started feeling bad because I was like, man, I really like, I care about her. I like her. Then I'm like, dang, I don't want to hurt her, but I already did this. Like, dang, you know, I had never even been in no situation like that at that point. To where I really was, like, I didn't talk to plenty of women at the same time at that point, but I'm saying like 2 women that I was like, I care about them, like I ain't even trying to play. So, you know what I'm saying, it got bad. Like, got to the point where she found out. I had told her, but then, you know, my girlfriend at that time had found out. So they had shows trying to figure out who each other is, and then I'm confused. Like, it was times I was performing, bro, I was stressed that you ain't even know, like they both in the audience. We just got into it out here now. I gotta go perform right now.
I feel you.
So it was crazy, bro. Like, it was
I feel
crazy.
you.
I couldn't even get myself.
Can I
together.
ask y'all your ages?
I'm 33.
Yeah, I'm 35.
Okay, so this relationship that you were in before Jessica, what was the length of time and what's your age during that time frame?
I was about, I'd say about 29 to 30.
No.
28. No,
I was
I'm
20,
tripping.
I
I'm
think
tripping.
I was 27, because
Yeah.
I remember.
I was 25. I was 25.
Yeah, it was my birthday
I was
when we
25.
met, so I remember.
So I was
it.
25, 26, yeah. That's all I was. I just had my daughter. But yeah, I was 25, turning 26, so I was that age. But the girl, we had been talking about probably about maybe 7 or 8 months, maybe 2 years, something like that. It was brand new. It wasn't like, it wasn't that long or nothing. And then like the perspective I got now from being married, like if I would have had that perspective then, which I couldn't because I had to go through it.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have went through all that because I wouldn't even been that serious about it. Like, I'm single at the end of the day, like. So, I mean, I'm dating, but I'm single though. You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm glad y'all I heard a lot of y'all saying single and dating. I'm glad y'all put that out there because I think in relationships, like a lot of people mess their relationships up by trying to be serious, like you acting like a husband. She acting like a wife. Y'all really just boyfriend and girlfriend. She tired of doing, you know what I'm saying? But y'all feel like y'all owe each other this. Like, well, y'all just supposed to be cool. So
Trying to make something be what it's not.
Then half of these people, you're not gonna even be with them for real. So it's like you wasted all that time stressing it. So, you know.
Okay, so you learned. That's good.
Oh, yeah,
I'm interested in knowing.
That's
I'm interested in knowing how you were able to make the determination between the two that Jessica was the one.
Oh, I knew it deep down. I could feel it, and it was crazy because I was trying to run from it. Like, I was like, it's crazy because y'all probably know Dollar Black. I know y'all know her, Dollar Black. I can say his name for
All day.
Okay.
But I remember him coming to me like, bro, you know what you gotta do. You know what you need to do. I was just like, that's crazy. You know, his voice did, you know what you gotta do. You know what you gotta do. And I was just looking at him like, all right. Like,
Who was also married and a proponent for good love,
yeah,
so.
so it was, at the time, I was like, oh, man, like, why would we say, like, he just came up to me, like, he was just like, you know.
Like you were low-key bothered by it too.
I was, it was like, it was bothering my spirit. I'm like, man, I'm saying, but I knew deep down, like, that, you know, I knew deep down, I was like, bro, she amazing, like, I can't, but I just didn't know how to, like, you know what I'm saying, I didn't know how to be real and be like, hey.
And meanwhile, I'm thinking it's bullshit. Like,
Yeah, she think I'm
no, you know, not realize, like now I know him in a different way as his wife. So because I've seen him and I know his mannerisms and how he interacts with different people, I'm like, man, he was telling me the truth the whole time. I just really didn't believe it. And
It
was
sounded
trying
like
to-
some bull, but it was,
Yeah, it did. But now I'm like, oh, you are really their person.
yeah.
So what's your version of the event?
Okay, my
Both sides.
version.
All right.
So I was kind of like checking him out because at the time I was leaving a situationship after I was in a long-term relationship. So I had dated a guy like from high school to 25-ish. He like dogged me out, and I ended up dating another guy, and he was the one that was like on the fence, like, you're great, you're wife material, but I'm not ready. And I pushed it, like, cause I'm like, no, I gotta be married. I'm graduating, and like trying to. That got a lot to do with the church, like trying to push something that I really wasn't ready for.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was in this situation. It ended like, literally, God told me you need to go, or you're gonna get hurt. So I left Hattiesburg, came back to Jackson, and I was like, I want to start completely over somebody I don't know. I was doing a lot of like blogging and stuff, so I knew a lot of people, and I just didn't want to date anybody that I knew. So I had came across a picture, like Sika, I think, had posted a picture of him. I was like, oh, I never seen him before. Like, I like his hair. And I remember commenting like, ooh, I love his hair. And when I saw him in my DMs on my birthday, I was like, in your DMs?
In your DMs.
Yeah, remember
You manifested that.
Remember he said he told me happy birthday. So it was like,
10 years.
wait a minute.
Manifestation.
No.
Oh, not, it wasn't.
I didn't discover he had messaged me 10 years in. This was just the initial happy birthday. I didn't realize he and I were even Facebook friends because I had never seen his face. You know how you can be friends with people and not know.
Yes.
that y'all- So I'm looking at him the whole time, not knowing we were already connected. So when I got his DM, like, happy birthday, I was like, oh, like, this is him. And I was looking, and I'm like, he tried to holler at me. So I was like, if you still interested, like, this is my number, because at the time I was dating a dude that dogged me out. And I'm like, I could have saved myself if I would have known it was him, like, reaching out to me back then. I would have definitely, went their way. But I was like, no,
She
I'm
was
in a
playing?
relationship.
Yeah, she was playing years ago. She was in high school playing.
Yeah, because that was when, that was the 10 years prior. At that time, it didn't register till we actually talked. And he was like, oh, that was from like,
See, I like the story.
and I was
crazy,
so
like,
embarrassed,
Yeah.
like thinking he was interested now.
Mm.
And I, at the
But he
time.
was though.
But he was.
I remember thinking like, dang, man, I just started talking, but dang, though. I was like, man,
So
that's
I asked him, I was like, look, I just finished dating a guy that had another woman the whole time. Like, I'm with him Monday through Thursday, he with her Friday through Sunday. So I don't want to go back into that. Like, he was very, we knew about me and the girl, so that you about the key. You right about the key. Because I had a key and she came over there. So anyway, I was trying to avoid being in another one of those situations, which kind of explains why I was like, I'm in now, like, she can't have it. Like, I just really was like, no. At that point, because I felt like I done been through this twice. No, you're my person. So instead of letting him like do what he needed to do to close that chapter, after I found out, I continued to be around, which I should not have been. It would have saved us like issues that we had to confront in our marriage. Like, are we even really, supposed to be together? Like, did we force this?
Right.
Or is what we were feeling, is it really real? So we had to, deal with it.
Okay, I'm gonna segue and come to you guys, talking about deciding whether or not you want to be together. So y'all had a very long breakup in between y'all being together. So describe what precipitated that breakup, and then
Because we want to know.
talk about, because that's a pretty long breakup. So describe what precipitated that breakup from y'all. How long were y'all together before y'all broke up?
5 years.
5 years. Okay. So describe what precipitated that breakup before y'all had that huge gap in between.
I can remember.
I broke up with her
Okay.
because I'm 11 years older than she is. I have 6 children. I've been married before, and I felt like I was holding her back.
Let tissue. Let me tissue.
Oh my God.
Give my name.
I felt like she needed to be with somebody younger. She is so talented and an artist and an activist and out there. I don't even remember who the president was a couple of years ago. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm just not on that level with it. I'm smart, but I'm not her level of smart. I'm not a clubber type person. I like to go out, have a drink and dance, but she was on the mic and emceeing and performing and this and that. And I just felt like I couldn't, my family life was keeping her back from being the awesomeness that she was. And so I told her to just go on and find somebody that can support her in the way I felt like she needed to be supported.
So how did you come to the realization, because there had to be a conversation at that point, so you had to express these things to her. Talk about the moment, you know, when that happened, and then, you know, Cody kind of explained how you felt when you heard what she said.
When I decided to press the nuclear button, I pressed the nuclear button and I will blow shit up. And to the point where you don't even want to come back. My mouth is lethal. I will say some things that will cut you to your core, and I will demolish your heart. And I hurt her. I said some stuff. And
So you were trying to purposely sabotage the relationship?
I was trying to make it to where she would walk away and not come back. Instead of being honest.
And communicating effectively.
Okay. All right, Cody, when the explosion started happening, when the DEFCON 5 button got pushed.
I didn't even know I was nuked.
Which is probably worse if you didn't know you nuked. So I mean, when it was happening, as it was happening, kind of describe how you were feeling, kind of describe what was going on around that time. How did you finally say, I gotta walk away from this and not come back, which is what she wanted you to do?
Yeah, well, like like she said, I was out there, you know, performing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And she's saying it made me like she was holding me back, but in reality, after I left her, it was like that energy kind of died. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of pushed back from a lot of that stuff that I was doing at first because I kind of lost some of the passion, which she was fueling. You know, even though I started it before I met her, she kind of fueled me. You know, but it was. She knew who I was, you know, she knew who I was because we were together for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
But it started to be like, where she was like, accusing me of doing this, and accusing me of doing that, and accusing me of doing this, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go. Because, you know, after a while, it's just like, nothing I do is gonna be good enough. And I feel like that may have been because of our age or whatever. I was like, okay, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. I was trying to think more maturely, but it was kind of backfiring on me, I guess. I was trying to, whatever you need, don't worry about it, you know, we don't have to do this, we don't have to get this, I can live without it, you know, I'm trying to live. So, because, you know, she has 6 kids, and they were younger, now she has 6 grown people. Now they grown. So, and we got grandbabies now, so it's like, but the kids and I were still in contact, you know, whenever they needed something, they were like,
Totally, and I
you
know
know,
that.
yeah, she didn't know anything, and then I wouldn't, like, tell your mama I came and got you. You know what I'm saying?
2 of my girls drunk in New Orleans, they called her to come get them, and I don't know nothing about it.
Yeah. Wow. I saw them in the club one time when her daughters just started crying. She was like, "Go!" I'm like, "Oh Lord," you know, because like I don't like I said at first, I didn't remember what happened. You know, I was just like, we just broke up one day. So I just knew that it was gonna blow up if it didn't just expire. You know, if it didn't just, it was expired. I was like, okay, it's ran its course. This part of this, whatever this is, and we gotta walk away, or it's gonna be bad blood. So I didn't want it to be bad blood because I was in love with her, you know, and we were in love with each other. I'll say, I'm not even gonna say it was just me, because we were, and I didn't want it to just blow up in a bad way to where I didn't want to see her anymore, and I didn't want to talk to her anymore. I didn't know I got nuked away.
Let me ask this question. Felicia, you mentioned that you felt like you were holding her back. I don't know if I missed it, but if you would, what made you think that?
Everything
So this was a you thing, absolutely. And you can recognize that this was absolutely a you thing, and you self-sabotage this relationship. You can recognize that now.
Now I do.
Do you think that being apart, being separated, helped you to come to the realization that this was a you thing?
Definitely. Definitely.
Can you talk a little bit about what being apart did for your psyche to help you understand that this was your person and you were self-sabotaging this relationship?
She never left me. She never left me. Although we weren't in each other's presence, although we didn't talk to each other, she was constantly there for me in representation of my children because they're a part of me. She was there for my life. She was watching my life even though I didn't know it. And she was steering me to where she wanted the best for me.
Well, like she said, like, she never thinks she's good enough for it. Like, and I have to say it's probably because of the way, you know, her past life, to where she probably was giving her all and wasn't reciprocated or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was like, whenever she didn't feel she could do something, I was like, girl, if you don't, you know, try this and do that, and if you want this, do it, because I'm the type of person. Like everybody always said, you do everything, don't you? I'm like, if I feel like I want to do it, I'm gonna do it. I might not do it forever, but I'm gonna do it when I feel like it.
Sure.
And then I'm gonna let it go, or I'm gonna keep it, whatever it is. But I tried to put that same energy into her, so that's why it was like, you know, come on, keep on. And when I see stuff, or I hear something going on, or the kids will call me and be like, you know, do.
Did you, Cody, ever feel like it was over?
I mean, I knew it was over.
Did you feel like
I
y'all
never
could
felt that I
find
was-
your way back?
Yeah, I mean, I was to the point where if it's meant to be, it'll be, you know, but at the same time, I knew I wasn't gonna just not be there for her if she needed somebody. You know, even when I was in other relationships, she called me and need me, and I'm just like, because I'm a genuine person. So I'm a genuine person, so the person I was with at the time, they know who I was with them and with other people, so they knew I wasn't gonna leave somebody that I loved, you know, out to dry. So it was like, I'm looking at this person like, I'm gonna go help Felicia. I know you might be mad, but I'm not gonna let her just be out there. You know, if she needs something, I'm gonna do it. Because
Are you like that with every relationship?
I'm like that with
Or
every
Felicia?
person in the world. You know, I'm like that with any person that I care about, any person that I really just have
So
a connection
Felicia
to.
gotta deal with the fact that whoever you dated in between, you may be the same way with them.
I mean, and especially when we're married. I mean, it's not the same. I don't think that that's the same. There will be.
What's this face?
That was part of what precipitated the nuclear and that I wasn't good enough because it's not that she collects people. I don't want to say it like that.
I feel like Dexter was like,
I don't want to say it like that. But there were significant females in her life that I knew weren't going anywhere. And I had to come to terms with that. Now, baby mama, I'm cool with baby mama.
we've been in a restaurant.
I ain't never gone to a restaurant again. Wait. That was key. Say it again.
I love it.
You might have just been talking to me, but this is a panel. You gotta tell everybody.
It's because, it might have been because I was sexually attracted to baby mama. And so therefore I felt like where I was lacking, we could bring baby mama in. And we could make it work together. And
That's intriguing.
It's not all.
There you go, Mr. Franklin. I
All
done sent
right.
you. There you go.
Actually, we're gonna come back to that. Put a pin in that.
Put a pin in that.
Put a pin in it. We're gonna start back on this end, so we're gonna kind of, you know, throw some questions at y'all for the single and for the married people and the engaged people, and then we're gonna take a few questions from the audience at that time. We always ask this question about deal breakers in relationships and in dating. Deal breakers. Is there deal breakers in marriage? Is there deal breakers for you? Not for dating, of course. Those things are going to be different. And of course, for you being married already. Yeah. Dating deal breakers are a little bit different than married and engaged people. So we're going to start with the married couple. Have y'all ever talked about, are there deal breakers in your marriage? Is there something for either one of you that is a drop dead, DEFCON 5, I can't deal with it, this marriage is over?
We've had little conversations about it, nothing too
Y'all
serious.
need to discuss that.
I mean, yeah, I don't know, maybe we do, but I like the stuff that used to be deal breakers aren't anymore. Like, I used to get mad about him not putting his clothes, like I say,
Like
he disappeared in
cleaning
the
up.
living room. Like, I would wake up and all his clothes are there, but it's no, like the
The
clothes,
whole
the
outfit
shoes,
be right there.
literally, like, he just, I'm like, you just disappeared, and it drives me insane. That used to be a deal breaker, like,
Really?
yeah.
Before that.
But it's a deal breaker or pet peeve.
You was gonna leave your husband because he was messy?
Bro.
Let me tell you why.
Because he was disappearing.
Because for me, it's like that's one, like I clean up, this all you gotta do. It's really my mama's fault, but like that's all I don't wanna wake up and see my living room.
So you saying that you were on
That's
the, you
for
were
me,
on the
like,
edge?
This does not change, like I can't, cause to me it's a symptom of a bigger issue, like I'm gonna be doing this for the rest of my life and I don't wanna do
But there
this.
was one deal breaker, I remember now.
No, it ain't just pick up clothes. That's just one example. Like,
Oh,
he's messy. He is really messy, and I'm a clean person.
Mm.
Then we have little children.
I ain't messy
We
like
have-
that, did not.
You ain't named. You ain't named.
Over here, like.
Right, you ain't-
that
you're not
be
named,
all-
right.
that should be
But
everywhere.
like,
They are not sexual.
It's an organized pile. It's an organized pile.
and that is annoying because we have 3 children under the age of 6. A 7-month-old, a 4-year-old, and a one that just turned 6. So their business is there. And I can't, I work from home. I just
Why
work.
can't you just let it be messy?
I mean, I'm moving to that, and this is the point I was coming to make. Cause I used to have deal breakers, but last year we went through like probably the worst year of our lives. Like we had family issues. Like I was pregnant. My mama and him got into it. I got into it. My whole family, and that like. That could have been a deal breaker for him, and it kind of.
But I understand that you are very
So,
family oriented.
Yeah, like I love my
significant.
family,
Yeah.
and I didn't realize the conditioning and programming that I came into our relationship because of my mama's issues, because of my daddy's issues. So I'm thinking it's normal. Like it's normal if you don't clean up, I'm out, cause I'm not gonna clean up behind you. I don't care if I work from home, don't. You gonna clean up, cause I ain't your maid. In reality, like my husband go to work, I get to wake up when I want to.
Right.
I'm playing for work. Like I work, but I don't have to, I'm not pressured to make money. Like that's a small sacrifice I can make. But it wasn't until 2 things. I was faced with being alone. Like, do you really want to be alone for real? Like you talking that
With
shit,
3
but do
children.
you really want to be alone? Like over this? And then getting the people who ain't married and ain't got nobody. No shade. I'm not saying
No,
that kind of way, but what I mean was like y'all are speaking on something you haven't or you're not experiencing.
Yes.
And I can't make a decision for my life off of what y'all think I should do. Cause y'all not gonna be with me when I'm in the middle of the night crying cause the baby crying cause I turned over and she
They
want
gonna be
me
at the club.
and he pick her up, or
Happy hour.
You know, somebody hurts me and you hurt me, let's keep it real. My family hurts me and he the one there. You know, so I had to grow up and realize like this is petty. These things are petty. And then I'm not gonna lie, I have a woman in my life who's like a mother. And she told me, she was like, do you really want to be without your husband? She was like, I've been married for 17 years and it ain't all good all the time, but like, do you know what the alternative could be?
You gotta pick,
So I
you gotta
had
pick
to
your bitches.
Like, I want my family together, and if it's something that can be worked out, like, work it out. If this is what you want, you know?
So, T-Lo, for you, any deal breakers?
Well, it's crazy because I ain't never really just thought, I mean, my main deal breaker for her was like not letting me be me, like trying to control me or like not letting me just be a person, you know what I'm saying? Before you looking at me like, oh, you my husband, like, I just want to be me, you know what I'm saying? Not saying I gotta do this or do that, but I just want to be a human, like, so just respecting me as a person and allowing me to be me. That was like a deal breaker. Like I couldn't deal with somebody who couldn't respect that.
Especially like career-wise,
Yeah.
like, he's making sacrifices for me to follow my dreams, but I'm not doing the same. Like, he needs to go to the studio. He go at night, yeah, the kids, put their ass to sleep, let them go. You know, like, so I had to get to a point where I was putting in the same type of sacrifice. Like, it was really all about me. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I was very like, me, like, I need this, I need that. And not really thinking like, he a whole person with his own desires, you know?
That's good. So let's go to the single people in the middle. Deal breakers when dating. Janae, we'll start for you.
I'm excited.
And we'll work our way across. Deal breakers in dating.
My deal breaker just in life is don't put your hands on me.
Oh, yeah, that.
Period. I don't care if we're dating.
That's your only deal breaker?
No, that's my solid deal breaker.
I mean, it's unfortunate that we got to say that should be a given
It should be, but
across
it's
the
not.
board, but it's not. But I get it. Right,
Y'all
right.
just stay with that
Yeah.
BS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I left my son's father just because he even swung. Like, oh. Keys, purse, phone, kid at daycare, dog, I'll be back. I'm out. Didn't look back. Period. Because I'm not gonna get into that. I'm not gonna fall in that trap and stay there.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, it happens to so many people that can't. I decided, nope, it only gonna take one time.
Yeah.
Even the thought of it or the action, and I'm gone. Period. I don't do lies. If you feel like stepping out, and I know it's a mature thing to be able to say, I fucked up, I stepped out. If you stepped out, tell me you stepped out. Give me the choice of if I want to stay. Don't hide it, don't cover it up. And try to play me for stupid. You know? If you did it, you did it. Own up to it, and let's see if we can work through it. But if you lie to me about it, there's no working through that. You don't trust me enough to tell me the truth that you fucked up. And you took my choice. You took my option of whether I want to stay or go. So now we're in a false situation.
Well, tell me if you think about it. Like, are you thinking about it? Like,
Let's talk about
good?
it. We're dating. It's not,
Yeah.
we're dating. We're not, that's a whole different situation. Infidelity in a marriage and infidelity that's even in dating, two totally
What's the
different
difference?
things. Because then you still have to make that decision
There's a
of,
difference.
do I want to stay with this man?
In marriage.
Woman, child, not child, man or woman.
Gotcha.
So you have to just decide what you want. So my deal breaker is, don't put your hands on me.
And lie.
Don't lie to me. Give me the option of knowing what's going on and
So
having.
if somebody lies to you, you're done?
If you lie to me about infidelity and stuff like that, I'm not talking about the little, this dress makes me look cute, and you're like, no, you look cute, but I look like Pillsbury Doughboy in the dress, and you're just trying to spare my feelings. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the real things that messing with the foundation of our relationship. Don't lie to me about the big things like that. Little things like, yeah, your hair cute, and it's dry brittle and looking like it's about to fall out my head.
So if they told you, would you stay? So if they, go ahead. I'm sorry.
If they told you that they were cheating,
Mhm.
would you stay because they didn't lie?
That's gonna be a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I can, we can talk about it. Now I have a choice of, was that just a one time I got drunk at the club and the girl was on me and it happened?
So it's not an automatic deal breaker,
No.
it's a thing to discuss.
It's something to discuss. Let us have a discussion about it, you know? But when you lie to me and I find out from the streets, oh, you've been over here with Susie and Q and everybody else, what am I supposed to do with that? You broke my trust at this point. If there's no trust, I might as well go ahead and go. Because it's just gonna build to something worse
it's something bigger and more traumatic as we go, because now the trust is gone. So now we're in this toxic ass place where I don't trust you.
Y'all today.
I don't trust you, and now I'm second guessing myself, and now I'm going backwards and reverting to a place of where she's been, and I've been there too, where you don't feel like you're good enough. Because now you done stepped out on me, lied about it. I'm looking like a boo fool over here, and now I'm feeling like, well, shit, maybe I wasn't enough.
Okay.
If I was enough, you wouldn't have stepped out in the first place, right? That's what mine.
Reese.
That's what your mind.
I know what you mean.
You know what I'm saying?
But you know that's not
That's not
necessary.
it, but we're in that
But,
place.
right.
Reese.
Gotcha.
I'm finna get attacked on this one, okay?
Hey,
Oh,
watch
I know
your
I'm
deal
gonna
break.
get
You
attacked.
got that life. You got that life.
Because it's gonna seem so petty to y'all.
But it should be.
But- And I mean, this is an absolute You here for the night, but not coming back.
You gonna let them stay tonight?
I mean, you're there. You know what I'm saying? You're not coming back.
Might as well, I got you.
Wait, what?
Okay.
What is it?
I mean, 'cause you're there.
Go ahead.
Snoring.
Snoring?
You know what I'm saying? They gonna- when I'm tired, I snore, you know what I'm saying?
All right, so let's, hold on. Take it easy. Simmer down. Besides snoring, what else is there? We're gonna take the snoring, we're gonna put it in a little box on its own over here, so let's get some of it.
I'm gonna say insecurity. You know what I'm saying? One insecure woman. That's a deal because I can't deal with it. You always accusing me of this, that, and third because of previous things that you've been through 10, 15, 20 years ago. If I'm going to the store, you know what I'm saying, you want to see the receipt. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I don't get it. You know, I've had some dealings where I heard they wanted to see my clock out sheet. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So I wouldn't say it wasn't that she didn't trust me, she just insecure. You probably have a lot of reasons not to.
What you do?
I mean, look, if you
Good question.
Was this baby
If
mama?
you ain't, who?
Was that baby mama checking your clock out ticket?
No, man.
Oh, okay, it's later.
No.
So insecurity?
Yeah, insecure.
All right, cool. All right. So we're gonna go to, all right, audience. We're gonna get to the comments and the questions when it's time for the comments and questions. Y'all doing too much damn talking. Mumble. You, especially. Yolanda.
So for me, I have 5 relationship rules, but for some reason I can only think of 4 of them. And so I'll just tell you, and they're pretty much the same. I mean, have been consistent. 1, treat me the way you want to be treated or better. If you have a problem with me or something that I'm doing, tell me before you tell your bros or your hoes. I mean, because you're going to talk, and it's okay to talk and share, but you got to tell me, because I'm the only person that can change me. Don't do anything that will affect my life or my livelihood. And my 4th one would be, don't do or say anything behind my back that you wouldn't do or say in front of me.
So you already had a list together. That is excellent. You had a list together.
Because it's like, I don't think relationships should be that hard. Like, you know what it is. I mean, you're mutually agreeing upon being together. So I don't have a reason to check his time sheet. But nigga don't check mine either. Right. You know? Cause I'm gonna follow your lead. I'm gonna let the man be the man. Now, I'm a strong woman. But with the right man, I'm gonna be submissive. You know, so, but I'm gonna follow his lead. I'm gonna play by his rules. But whatever rules he play by, I swear.
We're gonna play by the same rules.
I'm gonna play him better.
All right. And on that note, to our engaged couple. So y'all are getting back together now. Y'all are engaged, been engaged for almost a year. Y'all got a wedding date yet? which is what?
October 28th.
October, fantastic. All right, so deal breakers. Deal breakers.
I don't think.
'Cause y'all been through a lot, so I don't know, y'all just might be small, so.
I think all the relationship mistakes about checking phones and looking through emails, and I only hurt myself. So at this point, I know her. We've been in each other like a long time. So at this point, the only deal breaker is death, I think. I don't know.
What do you say,
My
Cody?
deal breaker is killing me.
Just don't kill me.
So,
Just don't kill me, that's
yeah,
it.
right. But seriously, it's like, I'm a very analytical person, so I see all the stuff, like, even if you do something, I kind of like, I can get in my head and use logic to kind of like, okay, I understand what did this happened. But I think my deal breaker just would be, I hate compulsive like lying. If you're lying about stuff that you don't have to lie about, like, especially if it's something that, you know, our lives depend on, you know, let me know that there's some big thing going on. Cause I have to tell her all the time, just tell me what, I have to kind of dig it out of her, like, tell me, you know, and then she'll find, she's like, okay, look, and you know, so it's like, if we don't get, so we've gotten past that over the years, so if that continued, I probably wouldn't be able to do it. If I wouldn't seen that change, I wouldn't be able to do
I
it.
never thought she was on the phone. I mean, that came out the blue, so.
It went out the blue for me.
Cause you had a plan, you was already.
Yeah, I had the kids in a group on Facebook, and they were picking out the ring, and they picked out the ring and stuff, you know, so they knew about it way before she did. But yeah, I think a deal breaker would just be lying to the point to where it messed me up, you know, it messed me up in some type of way.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about, because we're going to circle back to that one thing from earlier over here with you guys. So let's talk about gender roles. We're going to start on this end because this is our LGBTQIA couple on the end over here. So traditional gender roles or roles in the household. A lot of people say that the man is supposed to do this, or women's supposed to do this, or this person is supposed to do this, this person is supposed to do this. How do y'all work within y'all's household? And then, you know, we're going to talk to the single people and we'll go to the married couple.
That was good like that? Okay. Well, in our house, it's really like, it's really based on what you take on in our relationship. There is no man in the house, so it's like what you take on and what you expect from the other person just individually. Like me, like for instance, the trash, you know, I'm gonna take out the trash. But it may get to a point, because they do this thing, her and her daughter live with us, they will, you know how you fill the trash up, take it out, and then you tie a knot in it, and then they'll put another bag on top of it, like a fast food bag on top of that one, and like it's waiting for me to take it out.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
But
I understand.
talking about, this is the pet peeve of mine, you don't understand how this irritates my soul, and sent me a picture of it.
How you get to the car without passing the trash can? And then you get to put another bag on top of the closed trash can, like that. So.
Because what we're saying is that the bag is not going to open up and pull that other bag into it. So you need to open it up and put it in there and then tie it back up. It's a real simple thing. It's real easy. Real easy thing.
She takes on things, like she takes on things,
Yeah.
I guess it's her role that she feels that she takes on, but I allow her to take on those things because I'm very independent from being by my, you know, singling mingling for so long in between the times that I'm pretty independent. So I really don't need you to wash my clothes. I don't need you to wash my dishes or anything. But she's like, babe, I want to wash your clothes. I'm going to do that. So she kind of picks up the things that she wants to do, and we don't argue about it, you know, because I'll get up and clean up, you know, after a while. I'm just like, look, you know, I'll do it. Don't even worry about it. You know, if it hasn't been done, I'll do it. Don't worry about it. No, you don't have to do it. I'll do it. I'm not gonna wait any longer. You know, I'm one of those neat people like she was talking about, like, it's my mama's fault, you know, but it is. And I'm just like, she'll put it right there and it'll be there for like 2 days. I'm just like, what, are you gonna get that? Yeah, I'm gonna get it when I get home. You don't have to. It's gone. I already took it. It's really what you pick up around our house as far as gender roles.
Gotcha. All right, Yolanda, single people, we're going to the single table here. Gender roles, what's your opinion on gender roles in a relationship? You just talked about a man comes in being a man and you can be submissive at that point, but you know, a lot of people, there's a debate on, you know, when the woman is supposed to be submissive, and men doing this, the man doing that. So what are your thoughts on that?
I don't think any role has a sex on it. I mean, you know, we get the job done. You know, now, when I'm with a man, I want to be treated like a lady. But in the absence of a man, I'm a full-grown woman. Now, and people say, what do you mean by that? For example, if the man is away, I can build a fire. But if his ass is at home, let me see what you do, bro. Heat it up in here. You heat the fire up, and I'm gonna heat the bed up.
All right. You got those lines already ready. They just coming off. They just coming right off. I like that. They coming right off. All right, Reese.
Basically, I feel kind of like Kobe, and you're like the same time. It's just whatever you're good at. You know what I'm saying? I mean, women can fix cars. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you say about it. You know what I'm saying? They might not. Some can, some can't. But I mean, if my woman like to get under there and knock yourself out, baby, I ain't gonna cook. I like to cook. I be in there cooking. You know what I'm saying? She come home, I might be already cooked. She ain't got to worry about that. I mean, I've been single so long, I'm so domesticated that I mean, I can't cook, clean, wash my dishes, clean my house, I do everything stuff that a woman's supposed to do or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, whatever you good at, do it.
Whatever you good at, do it. All right, Janae.
So, I'm gonna chime in like with Yolanda. I'm a single mom, so I'm at the house, things get done. They have to get done, because Will's gonna do it. Trash go out, well, he's at the age now, he'll be 13 next month, so. He's a little Taurus too. So, I'm training him up, hey, take the trash out, walk it out, kill this bug or whatever it is, because I don't want to, because, yep, I'm squishy. But when it comes to gender roles in a relationship, I expect, like Yolanda said, treat me like a lady. I can do it. I can change a tire if I have to. But if I have a man that can do it faster than me, hey sir, if you don't mind, could you come on here and change this young tire? So I don't have to. I can, but I'd rather not have to, you know? I like cooking, I like cleaning. That's how my mom raised me. She did the same thing, cooking and cleaning, working, doing all of that. At the same time, she had to get out there to mow the grass because daddy wasn't at home. She can get out there and mow that grass. Would he want her to mow the grass? No, because he's an old school guy. He did the mowing, the planning, electrician, plumber. He did all the things that he had the knowledge base to do. So if you have the knowledge, please use it. I do have the knowledge, but I'd rather use my knowledge for other things. Like she said, in the bedroom, doing what I can do.
All right.
Or cooking and cleaning.
All right. All right, Jessica and T-Lo. Jessica, I think I saw you shaking your head for a little bit when people talking, so let's talk about that a little bit. Gender roles.
I'm not taking out, I don't touch trash. I'm not, and this is, again, my mama's fault. My mama.
I ain't touching nobody's trash.
I tie the knot on the bed, I'm not dealing with, that's just me, like, now, my mom and dad divorced, but like, prior to that, like, my dad paid all the bills, he did all the, so that's what I kind of expected. Now, we are very traditional, like, I work from home, I have my own business, I homeschool our children, so I take a lot of the traditional, you know, and I have found like happiness in it, and I never thought I would even like that. Y'all know me, I've always kind of been trying to do stuff, but I took a major backseat when I became a mom. So we're really, really traditional. Now, if he taking too long, I may back, I back him, but like, I clean his bathroom, you know, like stuff like that.
Y'all got separate bathrooms?
Not just, I mean, we.
You got your own bathroom to yourself?
And the kids share one.
Yeah, we just men.
Oh, you share with the kids? No, he share with the kids, you got your own. That's phenomenal, girl.
I mean, cause I'm very particular.
Yeah.
And like the kids.
Understood. No, we got you. Yeah. I'm waiting on that day. I'm waiting.
I have my own room, I might have this. But yeah, so we pretty.
Quietly.
All right, so, we got a little fun part of the panel that we're gonna do in 1 second before we get to the questions, because I know our folks in the audience have some questions, but we're gonna get to the part of the discussion that folks always love. We're gonna talk about sex.
Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things, baby. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about
It's a room full of freaky women.
Y'all should have known when
Black
the
folks,
Taurus
black
walked
folks,
in.
black folks. All right, so real quick, because we're coming on 4 o'clock. So real quick, and I'll start over here. So we're gonna take the pen out of what we put the pen in a little bit earlier. So you were talking about, baby mama, and you were talking about your attraction to baby mama and the possibility of baby mama being brought into your household. So talk about that thought process, and we're gonna talk to everybody on the panel about that. So are you saying that in your household, sexually, if that is something that your partners want, so y'all agree upon, y'all are willing to bring another person into the household? Yeah.
Y'all.
Yeah, I mean, because y'all pretty much answered it already, so I mean, just go ahead. Y'all.
Full disclosure. We have been together a long time. Things have happened. Period.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there's no judgment, this is safe space. Yeah, safe
Things
space,
have-
safe space.
We have had
Our share.
our share.
So you're open to that?
At
Does that
time,
change once you get married?
Yeah, at that time, it was cool.
So it
Because I
changes
wasn't-
when you get
She
married?
wasn't dating me, I was brought into it.
You were the third person. So when y'all are married, are you open to bringing somebody in?
I mean, I can't say no at this moment, but I like feminine females. She knows I'm very sexually aggressive, and, and I know she's not blind, she sees women, so I'm not saying it's not possible.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that
It's possible.
it's possible.
Okay.
I heard.
Okay, I hear that too, Cody, I hear that, that's what I hear, but I also hear
She wanted me
little,
to say, yeah, I'm
I did not want
apprehensive.
you saying.
I hear a lot of apprehension.
Yeah, I'm apprehensive. I am. But
You're
I'm getting
open,
older
but that's not
now.
your choice.
Listen, I mean, who knows what'll be my choice now? I don't know, it's possible.
Okay.
We're gonna need a caretaker in a while, about 10 years from now, we're gonna need somebody to come in there and clean up to take out that extra trash bag. No, no, but yeah, like in my relationships, I guess the way I am, like she said, she never felt good enough or whatever, and I've had that happen a lot because because of my popularity in certain times of my life, and they see other women. I don't know if they're intimidated by the other women or what, but they feel like, see me, I can be a friend to someone without being sexually attracted to them, and they could give me something in my life that my partner may not be giving me, but that doesn't mean I want to have sex with them. You know what I mean? It's like, and she's the way like, well, she does this and I don't do it, so you probably want to do, and I'm just like, well, I don't want to bring her home and have sex with her, we just talking, and the conversation is okay, but she's a sexual person, You know, so it crosses over into like, she's like, well, if you like her, you know? So it kind of feels like a trap though, even, you know, cause like you said, she's got that back voice like, oh yeah, I like her too, so if you want to. And then it's like, I'm like, hell no, I don't, you know, cause I feel like that's a trap.
Shut up.
Unless it's Rihanna, because she made that clear to me. If you get the opportunity, Rihanna comment. You know, so it's like, I know if it's not Rihanna, it's a trap. You know, so I'm just.
Is it a trap though, Felicia?
Yeah.
That's a yes. Okay.
All right, so single folks in dating. At what point do you really turn it on? Are there some sexual do's and don'ts in the dating game? At what point do you completely let loose on the dude? Reese, at what point do you give the lady the entire package?
Every time.
Every time.
I mean, I ain't finna shortstop that. I ain't finna.
You coming with it right off the top.
You know what I'm saying?
Are there anything sexual that you will not do with the woman?
Yeah, I ain't looking no ass.
Okay,
So you're not doing what?
that's fair. He's not looking at it.
Anybody, but he's sticking.
Nah, I put my finger in there, you know what I'm saying? I put my finger in there,
You're not doing nothing.
but I ain't licking no ass and I ain't going.
You're not going in that area, that general area.
I ain't built for that, you know what I'm saying?
No to that zone. All right, Yolanda.
What's the question now?
The question is there anything sexually while you're dating, you know, do's and don'ts? At what point do you feel like you can be completely sexually free with someone that you're dating?
You know, that changes in different relationships. And it's a comfort zone. You know, I'm very non-judgmental for one. So, based on my comfort level that I have with the individual that I'm with, determines the experience.
They're gonna dictate it.
That we may have together. Now, the other thing is, I typically won't discuss, you know, people say, well, have you ever done this before? This ain't your business. Now, we can decide if we're gonna do that together. But I'm not gonna share what I've done with somebody else with you. So as far as you know, this is my first time.
What you say is your first time?
You know,
That's a good point.
as far as you know, our first time doing it together is my
First time doing it, that's
You
right.
know,
All right, all
I ain't
right.
gonna hesitate.
Janae?
Janae?
Yes. So, I really don't have a true statement for this because, and I have to say this, because I haven't had a new sexual partner in a very, very, very long time.
So you've been fucking the same person
Huh?
for a long time?
Right. So my buddy's been the same buddy for like 5 or 6 years.
So how free are you sexually with your sex buddies?
Oh, now that's a whole free thing. Right, because that's 5, 6 years in making, so.
So you're comfortable,
Yeah.
nothing's off the table with that particular person?
Right, it's a comfortable thing. I'm like, we're here now.
So a new person would look like what?
New person would probably be a little more tame, because you gotta feel people out. You don't want to scare nobody out, you know? I mean, but that's true. You don't know where everybody is in their sexual journey. Some people might be good with more than missionaries. Some people might be good with the whole conversation. You don't know. So, like, this is our first time. So I don't know where you are sexually. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna bring out the showstopper and block 3,000. Because maybe
I got you. I got you.
I don't need a stalker.
I got you. I got you.
But you see what I'm saying? You bring it out.
All right, we're gonna go to all right. My audience is getting loose back here again, please.
Sorry,
Thanks, Janae.
my bad.
Y'all done?
We're done.
Okay, thank you. All right. To the Loftons. Did y'all ever sit down and have conversations about sex? Was there ever a time where y'all had to have a discussion? Was he trying to do some things? Because, you know, he was doing this thing out there. Was he trying to do some things that you wasn't ready for? Are those conversations that y'all have inside of the household?
We talk about these all the time. We just talked about these. Cause I was like,
But before marriage,
Did we talk?
about?
No, I mean during marriage, yeah.
I'm interested in before getting to where y'all are now with the family and
Did we
kids.
talk about?
Yeah.
Y'all just did.
I mean, we just did.
Yeah, they was
Y'all just did.
It was like this, as we was just doing, we started discussing more like, you know what I'm saying, but we had a little conversation, not nothing too deep. I mean, it was what it was.
It was what it was.
Yeah.
I got you. So with 3 kids, 6 and under, how y'all doing it? I like to hear the interesting ways that married couples are able to do it.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, it's like, see, I'm the type, she be trying to plan it, you know what I'm saying? I ain't no
The
plan.
sex?
I don't wanna plan it.
It's a reason why.
I understand her reason why, but I'm the type, I don't wanna sit here and be like, alright, I'm on 8 o'clock. I'm being funny though, but.
I'll be like, let's just wait, like, let's wait till later, or, cause our children, they still working on boundaries, like, they're.
Mhm. I mean, 6 and under, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
She don't wanna lock it up.
Yeah.
You have
Don't
2 boys, 1 girl, and the girl is the baby.
So the boys, they're just, we try to, you know, mama, you know, it's kind of throw you off. Well, for me,
See, I have solutions for this. She don't be,
Let's turn on like the right here.
Like, I'm the type, like, we can be in the bathroom, we can be in the washing and dryer, we can be in the what, the school room? We got the school room, like, she want to be nighttime, you know, it can be in the morning,
Yeah, for me, it's like, in the day, I'm on a mission, cause it's 3 of them, and they, you know, like. We go on breaks.
We get out.
We take breaks.
And then us having so many kids, like, we really be kind of like messed up mentally sometimes. Like,
Do y'all have a support system with people y'all can take the kids to?
No. Like, we're just starting.
We starting to get there. It's just starting.
We just really been in the trenches.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trenches.
It's tough having three under 6, yeah. Yeah, that's it. All right, so we have a new segment that we're gonna do before we get to the questions. So I know our audience has some questions, and y'all will be able to ask questions of our panel. We had our seasoned married couple that was not able to make it. So if y'all have questions for a seasoned married couple, my bride and I are here for y'all to ask those questions.
Because we've been married for 14 years. And what we found is that it's really, I'm sorry, go ahead. I haven't.
Look, you know immediately, like, go ahead. I wasn't asking.
That's what happened when you season.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not asking you.
She'd have had a couple shots.
She gets chatty. She gets a little chatty.
I get a little chatty.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, it's your time. Go ahead.
What
You think?
You didn't finish.
Oh, yeah, question and answers right after this segment. All right.
All right. So we are implementing, we had our 10-year last year, which was kind of, for me, a culmination of everything that we've built in these Love and Life panels. So to do something different this year, I have formulated a section called On the Spot. I know, you should be afraid. You should really be afraid. So, what I'm going to do, this is going to be specific to the audience. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna just ask a couple of questions and I need audience participation. So if you are in a complicated situation, I need you to raise your hand. Don't be afraid, this is a safe space. I know that it is being filmed, but fuck that. We are, if you are in a complicated situation, raise your hand.
We know you are.
If you are in a complicated situation and not on the panel, raise your hand. All right, we got one. That would be Artrice. I know it's more, but I ain't gonna call nobody else out, cause obviously y'all ain't ready to speak your truth. Artrice,
Child, she talking about all of us.
what makes your current situation complicated? Let me move you out this door. Artrice is in a complicated situation or a situationship. Some of y'all are in situationships and don't wanna admit it, but it's okay. Artrice is about that life. So, what makes your situation complicated?
Well, I think what makes it complicated is that we were dating seriously, we split up for some time, and so now we're coming back together, but still trying to figure out what we really wanna do. So like, we wanna get married, and I'm kinda like, well, let's get to know each other, so that would make it complicated. We're on two different levels.
Okay, so what I'm hearing you say is y'all are in two different places. You've been together. Yeah, it is. You've been together, but now you're not opposed to being with him, but there are things that need to happen before you can commit to it, and he's ready.
Right.
You were ready before, but he's ready now,
Right.
and you're not sure you are.
Yeah, I'm just slowing it down. Chilling.
All right. I want to see if any panelist can speak to Artrice's situation and give her some insight that may be able to benefit her. Any takers? Yolanda?
Slow it down.
Yeah.
Slow it down. Go at your pace. You know, I think a lot of time people look at other people's picture and fail to paint the picture that they want. Stop letting other people paint your picture.
You got all the lines, all the lines.
She
All the lines. Got all the lines.
Got it though.
You know, your story is not everybody else's story. And do what makes you feel good. As long as you're not hurting nobody else, do what makes you feel good.
Yeah, that was fine.
All right, next. Is there anybody in here who's married? Anybody in the audience that's married? Rachel. Awesome. Come up here, Rachel. Come on, Rachel. Thank you so much for being here. Rachel, how long have you been married?
It'll be 13 years in September.
I know you just came in, but we have engaged, divorced, single, male and female, and married for 3 years. You've been married how many? Say it again.
It'll be 13 in September.
13 years. Do you have any words of encouragement for anybody on the panel? You can pick a group or a person or whatever, or whatever is on your spirit to say as a married woman for 13 years.
I would just have to say that it is a friendship, a partnership, and a collaboration. And there are some years that you may not be in love. And there's some years that you will be. It's like an ebbs and flows.
What's in that
You
right
know what I
there?
mean? It ebbs and
What's in that
flows,
box? What's in
and
that?
you just gotta be committed to the right journey.
Wait. I don't know if y'all understand what she's saying. Y'all understand what she's saying? It's okay to not be in love every day, every year.
I literally was just telling this lady who, she like my HR in my job, and she like, when we start talking about like, she's been divorced, and I was just telling her the same thing, like, you can't, you really gotta, I move at your own pace.
Yeah.
You can't be worried about it. You know what I'm saying? If that ain't for you, don't do it, because if you get into it while it ain't for you, it's gonna be bad. Like, you don't wanna do that. Like, you ain't gonna be in love every day, like, for real. People think you supposed to be like, every day. Someday I be wake up and look at her like, man, she get on my nerves. And she looking at me like the same. Like, I see her so bad. But she be looking at me like, why can't you stand it? You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? When y'all really got a friendship, y'all really cool, for real, genuine, and it's more than just the sex or the, you know what I'm saying? Y'all go straight.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and like, and back to her, I just wanted to speak on you, cause I was gonna say something, but like, what piggybacking off of what you said, like, do what you gotta move at your pace and do what's good for you. Like, he might be ready for that, but you're not ready for it. So it ain't gonna work. And if he really love you and care about you, he gonna take the time to be patient and wait for you to catch up. So that's how you can do it.
Well, thank you, Rachel. So at this point, I'd like to open up the floor for any questions that anybody in the audience might have for our panelists. My husband and I are willing to stand in for the seasoned couples. I feel so old, but anyway, we'll stand in for a seasoned couple. Let me just, if I could be honest, when I was trying to find someone for the panel, we always like to have a newly married couple, and then we like to have a seasoned married couple to bounce that off of. Y'all, that was hard to find this year. I don't know if it's because we are getting more and more seasoned, because we look for people who've been married longer than us. We have been married this year for 14 years. It's becoming difficult, which is very alarming for me to think that Black married couples are not making it that far, or that we need to maybe broaden our circle. But anyway, we'll represent for those couples. We don't have a problem doing that. So are there any questions for anybody on the panel from anybody in the audience?
You have something?
Not a question, it was just a statement.
Or
Okay, well,
say
go ahead. Go
anything.
ahead with your statement.
Well, my name is David Cooper. I'm from New York City.
All right.
I've been married twice, 17 for one, 19 for another.
You're a serial marrier.
I'm 58 years old.
Is this your wife?
It's my lady.
Your lady, not your wife?
Not my wife.
Okay.
So, I can honestly say, it's a give and take in a relationship. The first one, I messed up. I messed that up. The second one, I learned what not to do wrong for the second marriage, which made me outstanding cat. You see what I'm saying? Great father, great husband, provider. Took a lot of learning. I got married young. Matured me into what marriage is really all about. But it took actually becoming in tune with my Creator to actually understand what it is to be a husband, to be a provider, to be a priest. You see what I'm saying? Because those are the three ground rules that a man should stabilize himself, being a husband, a provider, and a priest. But if you can't be a good leader, it ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. That's what I wasn't in the beginning. I thought I was.
So how much time between marriages did you spend learning who you are?
In between the marriages?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. Pain and regret can make you find yourself in the darkest hours.
Come on now.
Pain and
Say
regret.
it again.
Pain and regret can make you find yourself in the darkest hours. And it can mature you. You know, God made you one time, but He can break you down and rebuild you again.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So it took breaking me down and rebuilding me and molding me into the mental concept of what a husband and a man should be. Okay?
So how much time was in between the marriages?
Teacher, 13 hours.
I think it was like 5 years.
Oh, okay. Oh, way longer than
It was 5 years because I had to realize that, and I listened to everybody. So I listened to the youth, you know, the deal breakers. I had to like sit down and come up with a plan of what my deal breakers were and what my deal breakers may be for them. So I had to psychoanalyze the whole concept of relationship, marriage, and the whole thing. So I don't know what you're thinking, but I had enough experience to try to put it together. You know what I'm saying? So, like with her and I, we met on Facebook. Okay, so.
Young lady, do you have reservations now knowing about his dating history and his relationship
I
history?
did at first. I definitely did at first because I'm like, okay, you've been married twice. You know, am I gonna be like another Tally? You know? And so it's for me, I'm divorced. I was married for 18 years. And I was actually a preacher's wife. And my husband, he was amazing. And he took care of home, he made sure I was fine. If I looked like I wanted something, I had it. Very good work ethic, you know, and the whole nine. And he was a counselor and a barber. So, you know, most of the time when you're a beautician, a barber, nail tech, or what have you, you end up being a counselor, you know, what have you. But he was all of that. And then one day he came home and said the Lord told him I wasn't his wife anymore. You know, listening to other people and, you know, who he was under when they had twisted some things together. So I had to, that someone up front said it was a church. It has a lot to do with the church. Yes. So it took me a minute to wrap my head around what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to pray for this man. I'm supposed to lay prostrate. I'm supposed to be in the gap, you know, the whole nine. So it took me a long time to figure out what's wrong with me and why the Lord ain't answering my prayer. So when I finally came to the, you know, conclusion that, oh, and he had many girlfriends. All over the city. And we were kind of well known in the community. And I was so ashamed. I had my hair down for a long time.
Was it this community?
Yes.
You said he was a barber?
You know what? I got to the point where I had closed my mouth because the Lord bring him back. I don't want to, you know, embarrass him and all that. Folks walk up, what happened? Let me tell you. But so when I met him, I was terrified. You know, and I had been through the whole thing of I know I have a resting bitch face. And I was like, what's wrong with me? You know, and they approach just because they just want to screw. You know, they want to see if they can get you. They want to, you know, which one of us, you know, and that kind of thing. But I had been in a lot of, before him, you know, I had keys and all that other kind of stuff and the whole nine. So when he came along, I was like, okay, what is this? You know, but yes, I was very reserved because he has a story. And I was like, okay, you know, I'll be a part of it.
They gotta be on that next year.
Yeah, we're gonna come to y'all.
We gotta get y'all
I
contact.
got a question for Yolanda.
Yes.
Yolanda, you've been married 3 times. Do you believe that you were actually, or they were actually ready to be married? Either of the 3. Were any of those 3 guys that you married ready to be a husband? And were you ready to be a wife?
I know I am designed to be a wife. Okay?
Why do you say that? Why do you believe that's true?
Because I'm an excellent helpmate. I'm a great partner.
If you are determining that you are a great partner, would you not need the input of the person you are partnering with to be able to co-sign that?
Well, I can say this, every man that I have been with, I have elevated him. I have always left him greater than I found him.
Do you have to get married to be able to do that?
No, I don't think so, because in every situation I've been in, there's always been an elevation.
You and I have never been married, never been intimate, sexual, in a relationship. You make me better. So why is marriage necessary to elevate another human?
Well, I don't think it's necessary, like, you know, but I feel that I'm designed to be a wife. Now, I will give you a more broadened perspective because my mind is open. And we're in a safe zone. I am even open to being more than one wife to a man.
Yeah.
Okay? A
Wait.
man having more than one wife, I am open to being one of his wives.
Okay.
Okay, because I think a lot of times in our culture, and now that I'm exploring other cultures, I am open to saying, yes, you got a wife, and in your culture, you all have up to 4 wives. If you can support me, I'll be a wife.
Yolanda, if I said to you that feels like you are removing any sort of responsibility to commitment and love, what would you say?
I would say no, because you can love more than one person at the same time. See, I think we get so caught up in what we're used to seeing and not being open and receptive to what works for you.
Do you think you can find a man who will accept that position in Jackson, Mississippi?
No. No.
They have to be.
What the
They
hell?
have to experience more life outside.
No, it's your question that I'm
Exactly what I'm talking about.
No, that wasn't my question, but let's talk about that.
I didn't hear what she
All right, hold on, because we got to get our audience members' questions.
We are, this is the last one. So because of that conversation, Jessica, that wasn't my question, but that's a good subject. Her question was, are we saying now that the men in Jackson are not?
I was wondering, like, I thought your question was, would she find a man who would have multiple wives?
Polygamy in
Around
Jackson.
here, yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I think so, but they may not wanna be open about
Most
it.
don't wanna be able to handle it, I don't want to be right.
Yeah.
You gotta be something different.
You have to have experience outside of this city. Would y'all agree with that? You have to have a little bit more worldly experience. Because in this city, everything that we have is based on what we've been given.
Yeah.
I think you just have to learn more than what they give you in the city. I think you have to just be your own, teach yourself. If you learn more and go through more experience, I don't think you have to leave the city, you know, because it's just your experiences and what you put yourself in, the situation you put yourself into. And I think the people around here, you know, especially in Mississippi, when we haven't seen something or when it's not comfortable to generations, then we're not that comfortable dipping our feet in the water. You know?
Yeah,
So
sure.
people aren't gonna try it. They look at it and they're automatic like, you know, instead of being like, okay, you know, there might be something.
Any questions from the
This
audience?
gentleman has a question right here.
Okay.
Related to the question that you commented on. I think you can go anywhere on the planet and find that there are men that will subject themselves to having more than one woman if the chance is given. Because in the minds of a man, that's like the epitome of
Is
life.
that all men?
Not all men, not all men.
But
you
you're
get
generally.
Generally.
Okay.
Now, me, my question to what's your name, sister?
Yolanda.
Yolanda, why would you want to subject yourself to being part of a sharing process?
Well, I don't think, I wouldn't.
Because here's what I'm gonna say. You know you. You're getting to know him. You guys are creating a union. But he's already in the union. You don't know her. So you don't know what her expectations are of you and him. So why would you want to subject yourself to being in a shared situation?
He may or may not be in a situation already. Okay, but I am open to considering it.
Right.
Okay, that's what I just
Okay, I
said.
got
You could be a Franklin. We'll take it.
So,
She's here.
and
I'm sorry, husband, you didn't agree? I'm sorry.
I didn't say I didn't agree, I was looking over here.
I'm just saying, for me, my mind is broadened to other perspectives. I'm not being closed in the shell and saying, this is the only way I'm able to live, okay? Now, there will be some responsibilities and obligations that will be required of that man, okay? He would definitely have to be able to be a provider to all of us, whoever that is.
I mean, I get it.
You know,
because
so I'm just saying, it goes back to painting my picture.
Yeah.
This ain't about you, brother. And it's nothing on that. But from the experiences that I've had in my life, okay, this is where my feet stand right now. This is where I'm at.
That's fair.
And that's fair.
That's fair.
All right, we got a question over here. What's your question, young lady?
And I'll say this too, before you go there. And I don't like to use general statements, but if you would allow me to say this. Hell, honestly, generally, most of us done shared a nigga anyway. We've been in shared relationships. Whether we do it or not. I mean, like, everybody up here has verbalized being in a shared relationship. They was in a shared relationship. He had multiple shared relationships. Everybody been in a shared relationship. So it's about a level of maturity and acceptance. If you know your role and your place, it's like, okay, well, this is where I am. This is what I'm doing. You good with this? I'm good with this. High five. Let's get in the huddle. High five, snap, and let's go play ball. And then we go back up. And let's be successful in this thing.
If you want to. Okay, all right, James had a question.
Yolanda, with your marriage, with courthouse, real marriage, or what you had
I
going
mean, my
on?
wedding?
Yeah.
Wedding or courthouse, I think.
I like real.
I've had real weddings.
Okay.
So I've had.
Every time?
You know what I'm saying? Now, 3 times?
So the first wedding was a church wedding. The second wedding was an African wedding, although he was not African. It was inside the church. And my third wedding was a wedding, a very expensive, elaborate wedding in a venue.
Okay.
Real. So no courthouse wedding.
Okay.
Although the last wedding, I actually wanted something very small, but he wanted something big.
Are you opposed to get married again?
Absolutely not.
You would do it again?
Absolutely.
So you don't feel like you, in all these 3 marriages, married the man you're supposed to marry?
No.
That's okay.
Anybody else have a question back here?
Yeah, okay. We got a question right here.
It's kind of a statement that will lead to a question. When she made the statement saying that it was very difficult to find seasoned married people that actually just pierced my heart, honestly, being recently divorced after 18 years. My question is to anyone that wants to answer, why do you believe Because I know that I'm a big, huge proponent for marriage, but why do you believe that today's marriages are no longer lasting?
Social media.
If I can, I'd like to hear from Jessica and Tio on that.
I don't know.
Why do y'all believe marriage lasting is like not really happening?
Cause I think, first of all, I think it ain't a lot of examples, and I think when it is an example, it's just from a negative standpoint. Now, most young guys, all they thinking about is, I can't get no more coochie no more, I gotta do the same, or they ain't even thinking about, like, most people, like, that's what I'm saying, I don't think you can be ready for marriage.
No.
And like, because you can't fathom some things that it's gonna bring or how it's gonna change you, so I just feel like, I feel like people looking at, they look at this social media, it's a combination. It's social media, it's not like.
How do you think
it ain't
social
cool.
media affects it?
Because it's like I was watching an interview recently, it was funny because Boosie was saying this, but it's true though, like back in the day, your woman ain't had that many dudes to look at, you know what I'm saying? She go home, you ain't, you see girls at school and that's it, now you got women all over the world, everywhere. And these kids being born into it, like I can remember before social media, having to go talk to a woman versus DMing you, I just saw you tomorrow. So,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So I think all of it's like people, men and young boys and young men, they change, and girls too. So it's.
Reese, is marriage something that's on your mind?
Nah.
Are you okay with never getting married?
Yeah.
Janae, are you okay with never getting married? Or is that something you aspire to?
I aspire to a lifelong partnership.
That doesn't need to be married.
Cause I've been there. Right, so I don't necessarily need to have another wedding. I just want a solid, committed partner, life partner that's there. I don't necessarily have to go through the whole ceremony again.
Janae, you are a beautiful woman.
Thank you.
You are self-sufficient. You have a job, you take care of your child, you take care of your home, you pay all your bills. Why do you believe that you are not able to identify and secure a lifelong partnership?
Cause I haven't met him. I haven't met him.
Say it again.
I haven't met him.
You have not met him.
Right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hold on. We're gonna take one more question from the audience, and then we're gonna wrap, because it's 4:30, it's past 4:30. Anybody got a question? Go ahead.
What you got? You the last question. I'm really big on transparency and like authenticity, and I feel like a lot of married couples just don't tell the truth. And like like for us, we try to always find people that are married, that's been married for a long time, that's been through stuff, so we can see like, is it normal? Like I'll call my little spiritual mentor, I'm like, hey, look, is it like, this is how I feel? She's like, girl, I've been there, done this with him. Like, this, to know like, oh, cause I'm telling you, I came from a family where he do this, he gone. Thinking that, well, the first time he messed up, bye, but people are flawed, like, it's not just about you, like, he may have things, so I think that some marriages could have lasted longer if they had people there to be honest with like the things that they're going through and encourage them, like, y'all really love each other, this is something that can be worked out.
So actually in the community, we need more.
Like stuff like this, like I'm really enjoying this to hear different perspectives, because you don't know it if you don't hear it. Like people not shouting this stuff on social media. It's either hot girl summer or ooh, I love my husband and everything's perfect. Like it ain't no in between.
You know, add a relationship of they savior in the marriage too. Like I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah, like do you believe the same thing? Because they could lead to issues down the road too.
Absolutely, you gotta be on the same page.
Whatever it is.
So Cody, you wanna add something?
Yeah, I do. Like Felicia said earlier, she didn't think I was gonna ever propose. And to me, I didn't think I was gonna ever propose to one, because it wasn't legal for a long time. So I was like, you know what I'm saying? I had to worry about it anyway. But once they legalized it, it became more real of a thing. I think that the thing is, I feel like the society that we're raised, that we're learning from, first of all, is dysfunctional.
Amen.
So I don't think that our goal should be marriage. In a way, I don't think that marriage is like a thing that you should be dating to find a husband or a wife, you know? And because I think when you want to marry somebody, it comes over you. It's like a rush. It's like, you know, I think I can marry her because I don't have a problem not being with her, you know, being with her every day, seeing that person every day, talking to them, only talking to them. But all the rest of the time, I don't think that people are I don't think that people are just made to be with one person. Now I feel like when you had that little twin flame thing going on, where you're just like, you know, cause like me and Felicia, like when I came to the point where I was like, I'm gonna propose, it was to the point, she ain't going nowhere. You know, we're so open in our relationship. It's not like we can't talk about anything that comes up. We can't go through whatever's going to happen, you know, and that made me feel like I can have a bond. But before, it was like, you can have these relationships and you're gonna have these soul ties to these people, and it could last forever with these people, and they're not married material. You don't want to marry them, but you love them, but you don't want to marry them. And I think that people coming in saying, I'm gonna be with this person forever, I think that's a big responsibility on dating in the first place. I think you should just fall into that. Like, you should just fall into love, you should fall into marriage the same way. Like, you know, this is the one. You shouldn't just be like, if we're gonna date, we're dating towards forever. Because I think that messes up a lot of the situation that goes, messes up the experience, because you're looking at all these things that you don't like, all of these flags, you know, because she covered all my flags. Like he talking about snoring, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, she got machine, she hooked it up. So it's like all the things that I was, you know, dating, all the things that I was like, oh, I couldn't handle that. Oh, I wouldn't do that. Date people, kids, you know, 6, you know, I was like, yeah, you know, right. So, and
Grandbabies.
Right.
I love her for them.
I know.
The grandbaby comes in here and goes like this to her, and I'm like, Sonny, like.
That's good. That's because I snap.
That's a
on
good point.
Kids
I
make me
appreciate
snap on
it.
yeah. But
So actually what you're saying is, don't be so focused on the end result as much as
the experience,
having
getting the love, and because the love is gonna grow.
You had something you wanted to ask right before we close out?
I don't know why she got me, because baby, I got a lot. But
One question.
Okay, so first of all, thank y'all for being on this panel. I love it. Yeah. So my question, but you pretty much answered what I wanted to really ask about when it comes down to marriage, because everybody, just like everybody shouldn't be a parent, everybody shouldn't be married, right? And it's okay, but society deems women who don't get married as, you know, spinsters and wenches and all of that, whatever. But, and that's not, to me, that's not fair, because everybody don't want to be married. The question is,
yes,
in a marriage, the bedroom is not defiled. Do y'all think, yes, it's sexual, because I do sex work, not sales things, but yeah. But do you think, because we talked about earlier what you won't do as married people?
Go ahead. Dance
I
play.
ain't got no question.
Go ahead.
Okay, as a married couple, the things that you wouldn't do single, do you think you'll do it married?
Good question.
I need more clarification.
Like I ain't gonna say for sex. I ain't gonna say for sex. I'm not too open to
Sexual.
Whether we married or not, if I'm with you like that, we right now. Why I gotta go to the courtroom to be like, or get a wig to be like, okay, now you should be.
Hold on. Janae, would it make a difference to you what you're willing to do sexually if you're married or not?
Oh, yeah, because you had the seat,
Yeah, no, because like the partner that I have, we're very open about sexual purposes and stuff like that, and things we do, and we're not married.
Okay.
No.
So are you saying like, is it things you would reserve for your spouse?
Not necessarily. Yeah.
Would you do it if you ain't married?
Right.
Reese.
If I'm married, and if that's what you want, then I'm gonna have to get with it, you know what I'm saying? But
What if she want it and she don't?
I ain't gonna want it.
I like head too much, and if you go in there, how you gonna do
All you
that?
need is head.
I like it too much to
It's
put it in your
something
ass, you know what I'm saying? So
Clean
now you gonna have to.
Okay.
Wait, we gotta talk about
Is there a differentiation between what you'll do with your man and what you'll do with your husband?
I think there should be, maybe.
I think there are levels in relationships. So I would have to say, yes.
Okay. What about y'all? Are there things that you will do as a married couple that you will not do if you're not married?
Yeah.
I feel like I wanna answer that.
I don't want to know.
Okay, we're gonna leave that alone. We're gonna leave that alone.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for having
It's
me.
different, yeah.
This has been the Love and Life 11 conversation. Thank you all for being here. Thank you our panelists, our engaged panelists, our divorced panelists, single and married. And we will see y'all next year. Happy birthday.